realdeafinfo.com. We back.
It's Kil and Dr. Roz, and we are excited to be back. Today we're going to be talking about training someone else for the next chick.
But before we go there, I gotta give some shout outs.
Okay.
Number one, it's me and T's 11th anniversary.
Yay!
So I shout out my beautiful, awesome, gorgeous, holding me down wife for 11 years of marriage. I love you. Couldn't do this without you. Couldn't do this walk without you.
Yay! Congrats, guys.
Yeah, 11 years. That's a minute.
And Frank and I just celebrated 5.
Wow, congrats.
I know, it's kind of
I
big.
forgot your anniversary. I guess that kind of sucks that we work together.
Yeah, it's cool. Because I got married on my birthday. So,
Right.
you know, it all just kind of runs together.
Yeah, I
So-
remember your birthday.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Because it's right before your wife's birthday. So
Cool.
you knew.
All right.
So it kind of, you know, September is Roz Timber.
Okay, cool.
So-
cool. The second thing is I got an album out, Through the Wire, Season 2. It's inspired by HBO's The Wire. It's my beats with snippets of the show. Support is $6. You can get it at KIL889.bandcamp.com, cdbaby.com. It's on Amazon. It's on iTunes. Support. I'm trying to really see. Roz and I are trying to branch off and not have to have 9 to 5s, but we need the support of y'all to
make it happen.
So even if you don't like hip hop, you ever been at Target and you see them little kids, they come up with you
Yes.
with like old candy, and they
Yes.
like, I'm trying to sponsor my basketball team, and you don't buy it, you just give them $5. Just give me $6 if you don't like hip hop. Like the same way you don't take the candy, just download it. Somebody in your family like hip hop, give it to them. They'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so support Kil.
Right. So back to what you were saying.
Okay, so we've, as you guys know, we get questions all the time. So one of the questions that really stood out to us was a young lady was dealing with a situation. She'd been dating a guy for maybe about 10 to 15 years, I believe she said. And, you know, she had always inquired, are we going to get married? Kind of thing. And it was always, I'm not ready for marriage yet. And then he just breaks up with her, and now he's engaged to be married to someone else.
So what's the question?
Well, her question is, how do you maintain a relationship with someone and not overstep the boundaries of doing wife duties? Very good question. Because oftentimes we do get in relationships, we want to show the guy that we do have these qualities of being a wife. So you may invite him over for dinner. You may, you know, cook for him. That was never me. But you may cook for him because I don't know how to cook. You know, just to show him that you know how to cook. You may do little errands for him. Those little things really are like wifely duties. And, you know, some people just really get caught up in that. And it's very hard to kind of find the boundary. You know.
I'm going to let you answer first. What's your answer?
Well, being a wife, I realized when I was dating my husband, I was trying to do these wifey things because I needed him to see that I was a great catch. And I think, you know, in my experience and with people that I speak with generally, or couples that I work with, I think that might be the general consensus with women. You know, we want to give you our best. But in giving you our best, sometimes we overstep the boundary of what's the girlfriend's role and what's the wife role. And so when you are acquiring big ticket items together, like buying a home together, buying a car together, co-signing for someone, you know, being on somebody's credit card bill, you know, all those things, and you don't. And I mean, you know, I know a lot of people don't believe in getting married nowadays, but if you don't have anything legally binding you to this person, then it's quite easy for that person to just roll up out of your life, basically. So I think it's just very hard. And as women, we have to find the balance of what's my limit and how much am I going to show this person. Because really, for real, I don't think you really should give a relationship your best, and this is just my personal opinion, until you become the wife. And the reason why I say that is because so many people do so much in the beginning stages of trying to get in a relationship that by the time they become the wife, it's just like, whew, my work is done, I'm tired. And so you stop giving, and that's how people become comfortable in marriage. That's how people get bored in marriage. That's how people that may lead people to cheat in marriage. So I think you really should, and just in my honest opinion, I think you really should hold off on the whole giving you the best that I got until you get an I do. Yeah. I mean, even in my own relationship, it was good for me to, I moved to another state while I was engaged. And partly what we learned is like, can we survive on our own? I had never lived by myself because I'd always went from my parents' house to college and then to graduate school and had roommates. And when I met him, he was living with roommates, so we never really functioned on our own. Truthfully, sad to say. And it was just good to see if we could actually function on our own, do those simple things. And it was just great for me to be able to step outside of that. Even though I was engaged, it was great for me to be able to step outside of that and still kind of have my own independence and not really trying to do so much. But I guess I had become comfortable because I was engaged at that point. So I guess it is somewhat a catch-22. But I think women and men, I think but more so women, and not to be bashing sisters or whatever, but I think we have to find that comfortable boundary of what we're going to do in a relationship. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts I think it depends on a lot of things. It depends on, one, how old you are. There's different rules for different age groups. So
true. That's true.
If you say how long Shorty was with him?
Like 10 to 15
years. I'm going to just throw her in the 30 and over crowd.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, to me, when a woman is ready to get in a relationship and really ready looking for marriage, I think that has to kind of be something that's put up front. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm giving you X amount of time, to marry me, but to put that up front, to say, this is what I'm looking for. Now, if you start dating the man and everything like that, and who kicking it with him or whatever, he agrees with that, and like y'all both on the same page. So now, prayerfully, and I mean, the dude could be lying just to get some, which is gonna go into my next portion that most women don't want to hear. So y'all at least moving in the same direction, or at least so you think.
Where you hoping.
Right. Now, if you don't bang them, then that may keep it going forward. I'm just, we get a lot of email. I mean, even when we do conferences, I get beat in the head for saying that women should stop having sex with men if you want to really find a husband. But I mean,
well, let me counter that.
Okay,
men, just stop having sex with all these women too. I mean, I don't really think
it's probably going to be a little easier for the women to stop having sex with the men and the men to stop having sex
maybe
with the
so, but still, man, because I hear so many dudes say, I can't find a good woman, I can't find a quality woman. Well, if you're not treating them like quality, you're just trying to get in where you fit in, and you're not really trying to get to know the person. Then how do you know if you found quality? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, for so many guys, I mean, that one night stand may not be the super freak. I mean, you may be able to turn her into a housewife or whatever, but how would you know if you just saw her as the one night stand? I mean,
okay, so I guess the moral we're saying is, if you're dating, you should not be having sex, which sounds like gibberish in 2011, 2012. I understand that.
So you should let me educate them on oxytocin. That'll be the next one.
We haven't done oxytocin already?
No.
Okay.
We only do that in conferences. We've never done a video.
So the whole thing of what I'm saying is that I just think that's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So you're figuring out, okay, we're moving on the same page. This is what I want. This is what you want. I don't think as women you guys are naturally caregivers. So I think it's almost impossible for you to not give care. It's almost impossible for you to not do nice things for this person.
Exactly.
Because I think that that's the way that y'all are built. I think what happens is...
That's where the problem comes in.
Right, but I think one of the issues we have, and like we always talk about, is that you really don't get a chance to get to know the person's character. You know what I'm saying? I think when you get to know somebody's character, you can kind of get with, is this person lying, or this person not really that serious, or whatever. But it's hard to get to know somebody's character, because most of the time in relationships, 80% of the time, we're probably having sex. You know, so it's hard to kind of get that. That's why I'm always like, not just for biblical reasons, but just why I'm like, you know, not having sex, because you really get to know somebody's character. You really get to know this person. You really get to become friends with this person, so that, you know, you kind of trust each other. You kind of know where each other's coming from. Then I think too, if you've been in a relationship for 10 years and you know you want to get married, I do think there has to come a time when, not that a woman necessarily gives an ultimatum, because I don't agree with those either, but it's just a situation where it's not really an ultimatum. It's just, I'm out.
This is what
I'm out. It's not even about, well, if you don't marry me next year, then I'm out. Because then you're still putting the ball in his court. It's just take control of your own life.
And I think a lot of women, because we get these messages of, oh, don't pressure a man about marriage, and, you know, just try to be friends in the beginning. But I think there comes a point in time where you have to say, this is what I want for my life. And I did that before I met my husband. And when I met him, I was like, you know what? I am the young lady that needs to be married. So if that's not in your game plan, we can be beautiful friends. I think you're cute. I think you're handsome. But I want to be married. And if you don't ever want to be married, then I'm not the kind of girl that's going to be hanging around for 10 years. You're not going to waste out my pretty. No, you waste my eggs. Yes, I said that. You're not going to waste my pretty, nor will you waste my eggs. You heard me. Yes.
What is your pretty? What?
My pretty, my good years, my 20s. I'm young and excited, and if you ain't ready to tie down, see, you guys don't have
your
to
real
think
eggs, your ovaries or whatever?
Yes. You never heard that before?
With this?
Because I'm a woman.
I've never heard no woman talk about you ain't gonna waste my pretty or my eggs.
Are you kidding me?
Nah, come on, bro.
Are you serious?
I'm from Philly. We don't talk like that.
Oh my goodness. I bet you these women, I bet you will get emails. They know exactly what I'm talking about.
So how long? I thought your eggs were good till like y'all like 40 something.
No, after 35, it's not a good idea to get pregnant. You know?
What?
Yeah. A lot of complications. But outside of that, I mean, it's like, who wants to be 40 with a 1-year-old? I mean, there's a lot of people that do it, but who really wants that if you've been dating somebody since you're 20?
Right. Well, that's the problem.
You don't want to be
dating somebody when you're 20 and he don't want to marry you at 40.
Yeah.
There's certain things. One thing I've learned a long time ago in one of my jobs, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah, it is.
It's just if you care to see it or not. The writing is there.
I agree.
If a dude loves you, a dude is gonna want to marry you.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's really the end of the story. Now, if he wants to marry you, he's gonna marry you. But if he knows that he can just...
Do you think I gave an ultimatum in the beginning? Because
I don't know if it's an ultimatum.
I told Frank,
I don't know if it's an ultimatum if you're not even in a relationship. So if you're just meeting somebody,
okay, I see what you're saying. This is like our third date.
Yeah, and you're just explaining to somebody, because those are just dating. That's not now we're in a relationship.
Okay, I got you.
So I do think it's you should bring your cards to the table.
Yeah, I told him I was
just like in Vegas, you got to come to the table with your money and your chips to show that you're ready to play. So you got to tell people, this is what I'm after. If you're not after that, then let's not waste each other's time. Yeah. You know, now like I said, with most dudes, if we really want to hit, then we'll tell you whatever you just told us back verbatim, so we can hit. But if you ain't letting us hit, then we gotta stand forth on what we said, and that's where y'all women go wrong. You let us hit, and then it's like, I got her, and you give away all the power, and now all of a sudden, you know, now you just have sex all the time, and you like, oh man, you know, I wish you would marry me, and then like 5 years fly by, and you're still not married, and you waste your eggs, and you're pretty, and everything like that. That's why I'm saying don't bang them.
You understand the pretty eggs?
I guess I think it sounds stupid, but
no.
If that's your saying, that's your saying.
You think it sounds stupid?
I mean, your eggs. I just don't think, as a man, I'm thinking of. You see, I said your ovaries. I don't know nothing about eggs. So.
No, as a woman, at 30, you lose 30% of your eggs.
I did not know.
Yeah. That's why it's like, you know, people think that women over 30 are just like so pressed about getting married or nothing. It's just that we have something more that we have to think about in terms of if we want a family and if we want, you know, yeah, guys aren't thinking about that, but that's you know, you heard the biological clock ticking. Yeah.
I didn't really never believe it. I just thought it was something cool.
Oh no, not at all. It's a for real
I did not know that. So men, this is why we get pressured. because the eggs are going to waste.
Stop wasting people's purdy and their eggs. Yeah, stop wasting their purdy.
So I think the moral to the story for me is women, stop having sex with these dudes and know what you want and be able to give yourself. It's the same way we do with jobs. And I always say that I feel I know women. I have homegirls. I have family members who are like this who make perfect business decisions.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, look, if I'm not at this level, or they don't give me this promotion, or they don't give me this partnership, I'm out. It ain't no ultimatums. It's I know my worth. And I feel like when it comes to affairs of the heart, y'all sometimes lose what y'all worth is. You know, like y'all put y'all worth in, like, I got this degree, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a doctor, and you know I can go somewhere else and get another good job. So I know my worth. But then when it comes to dealing with these dudes and relationships, it's like y'all don't know y'all worth, and then y'all start settling, and y'all settling for the wrong things. Y'all need to have that oomph that y'all have for y'all job, for your relationships. And then a lot of times you're going to be caught in these situations, because women do that all the time. Men, we get stuck in dead end jobs because as a man, I can't just be like, yo, I don't like my job, I quit.
Yeah.
Women, y'all can do that. Y'all be like, oh, I don't like it, I quit. I'm gonna find myself for a year, go back,
move in with my parents.
Yeah, move in with my parents. So y'all are free flowing individuals when it comes to things like that. Whereas men, we can't. I can't be like, yo, I quit my job, I'm gonna go live with my mom and still get dates. You know what I mean? So women, dudes don't care. You live with your dad, who cares? You ain't got no car, who cares? I'll come get you. So it's different for us. So the same oomph that y'all put in y'all value and everything like that for your jobs and everything else that you do, you gotta do that for yourself and your relationships. So prayerfully that answers the question.
Yeah, and I guess from my standpoint, just think about standards and boundaries. Let somebody know up front what you expect. Let them know up front what you expect. And that way it's not a surprise when you roll out.
It's kind of back to the job, because I know a lot of people, they'll say, well, how much money do you want? And I know a lot of people, a lot of times don't want to say too much, because then like, if I say too much, then I get the job. So.
Can I just say $1 million? Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, we can't give you that.
Right, but
you never know until you ask.
You can't be scared to put up front that this is what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then at the end of the day, you gotta take some responsibility for that.
Yep.
Because basically now I've been tricked into this relationship because I didn't know you wanted to get married.
No. You weren't tricked. No.
Okay.
You weren't tricked.
If I'm dating you and I'm like, are you good with just us kicking it? And you like, yeah. Then I'm tricked, because now I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I just want somebody to kick it with. If you say I want marriage.
But when I come back and say I want more, you ain't tricked at that point.
Nah, but women, y'all get to change our minds. We don't get to change our minds. And that rule's about to stop. All that y'all get to change our minds, we don't. Come on, man.
What?
Because y'all
that's the next one we'll talk about.
TillDeathInfo.com. You know what I'm saying is right, so I ain't even looking at you. For any questions, tilldeathinfo@gmail.com. Tilldeathinfo.com. It's your man Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.